Hey there, garden friends. I got a very big surprise for you. I'm out here with my good friend Jim from Stone Organics, and we're on location. We went field tripping. We're out here at a facility here in the heartland of California, and you can see behind me the powerhouse to this wonderful place. And you can see this wonderful windmill. Jim, how you been? How's it going? And what are we going to do today?
Good. Yeah, we're going to give you a little tour of the facility. Yeah, we are wind powered. It is windy here. We're in the Delta. So this is an 80 kW wind turbine. We have another 20 kW that you can't see in this shot. And so that powers the entire facility. A lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of large electric motors required, compressors and things to operate a facility like this. So we're totally sufficient. We send what's left over to the grid. So we're proud that we're totally sustainable from an electricity standpoint.
That's so cool. I'm loving the windmills, and like I said, you're basically generating more electricity than they even use here at the plant.
Yep.
Before they used to spend thousands of dollars each and every month. Now a little less than that, I imagine, if not zero, when it comes to the power.
Yep.
And they can put that back into better product, better materials, and their employees. So I love it. So I'm like a kid in a candy store today. We're gonna go from, I'm actually gonna get a little behind the scenes, little tour of this wonderful facility. So, you know, Willy Wonka, eat your heart out, Micro. You can also eat your heart out because we're gonna be doing a little bit of fun today. What do you think? Should we go have some fun?
Yeah. It's gonna be a fun tour.
So Jim, first, before we start here with this wonderful coconut core behind us, how long has Stone been around?
Oh, 104 years.
Okay, so they're just getting started. It's a fresh company.
We're a California company. We're a regional company, and that's by design. So we want to service the independent garden centers in California, Washington, and Oregon. So we started in Salinas, California, and this 25 acres was purchased some 60-something years ago. So yeah, we're proud to be a local California company.
And that's what's awesome. That's what's great about the partnership between Stone Organics and Green Acres, two local companies coming together to help out their customers. I love it. It's fantastic. So one product that we're looking at, and so what exactly is this wall of goodness behind me?
This is Coconut Coir. So this is a byproduct of the coconuts. And so we try to source all the materials domestically, but certain things like bat guano, seabird guano, and coconut coir, of course, we don't have domestically. So this comes from either Sri Lanka or India, and this is compressed coconut fibers. So we have machinery to show you in a few minutes that breaks this up, hydrates it, and makes it ready to use to mix with some of our potting soils. So we like it. It's sustainable, it's fibrous, it lasts a little bit longer than peat moss. We do use peat moss as well, but this is an interesting product. So it's kind of messy here, but it just sits out here till we're ready to use it. Doesn't need to be covered or anything. So yeah, they're pretty heavy.
So yeah, it's actually pretty solid. They've all been compressed and condensed, and just like you mentioned, they add water to it, they chop it up. Every now and then I'll get my hands on a block of one of these for my classroom. And with our students, we just pop it into a wheelbarrow, we soak it up, and then we tear it apart with some hand tools. It takes a little effort, but it's great because it swells up and its volume increases dramatically. And so when I mentioned that, he's like, no, we got some machinery that does that. So I'm really looking forward to go seeing how they do it the proper way.
Yeah, it's a great substrate. We'd like to use it in several of our mixes.
Well, let's go check it out.
Good.
So we made it back here to where they have the coconut busting machine that actually breaks apart those bricks of coconut core. So what's great about that is the coconut core was those husks that were inedible, it was waste somewhere else, and now they're making it into something super useful, an amendment for their soil mixes. They use it here in several different mixes for their soil blends, and guess what? Your plants love it. That it's really light and fluffy. You can kind of feel it, smell it. It has a nice sweet smell to it. There's these piles piling up behind me. What's great is that I feel like you can use this in your soil mixes at home. But for us, we'll let them do all the hard work. They blend it into really great mixes. So Jim, what is going on behind me right now?
Well, this is a hopper. The front end loaders will load this with the material that's already been blended, and they put a bag of the material on the hopper to know what to put in there. And then from here, it goes on a conveyor into the bagging operations inside the building.
I recognize that bag. I use that all the time. That's the green all planting mix. You can pretty much use that anywhere. It's great in your garden all the time.
Yep.
But it's kind of cool to see how that's getting made. And then going inside, I think we passed some folks in there that are actually on the other end of this, getting ready to bag it up on the final, the final destination of this soil is going to be right in that bag and then sent off to you, hopefully. All right, so how cool is this? We made it inside the nerve center of the Stone factory here, and we're getting to see what actually happens to all that beautiful soil that got mixed up outside. So finish this up. What's going on right here?
Well, this is one of our new machines. It actually forms the bag first. So the bag comes in on just a roll, it forms the bag itself, and then it goes over here and was filled by the filling machine from the hopper outside, and then on down the conveyor.
It's pretty cool. It's going really quick. Bag opens up, soil goes in, gets sealed up, and it's getting sent off. It's so cool. And I love the smell. You can actually smell the soil in the air a little bit. It smells really good. I gotta admit, I'm a little jealous. It's been a childhood dream of mine to have my own robot, but you beat me to it. Jim's got 2 robots. So what are these robots and why are they so special?
Well, nobody wants this job. This is stacking the bags on a pallet. So these things work off a GPS satellite signal. They're made by Fuji. And it's pretty cool when you crack them up in the mornings. They fire them up because they like search for the signal. They like move around. It's kind of
They
creepy.
do the robot?
It's kind of creepy,
Okay.
yeah. But they do a perfect job every time stacking. And this is kind of the way to go.
Yeah, when you're moving 16-pound bags of soil, it's nice to have some help. It's great. The claw knows where to go. Each time it puts the bag right where it needs to be on top of the pallet. Before we started filming, we were going to watch it go, and it knew not to put the bag of soil down because there was no pallet ready.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So we're at the final end of the whole product. We went from beginning the soil mixes to bagging them up, and now we're coming down the end of the conveyor belt. What's going on here?
Well, this is called a stretch hooder. It's a pretty modern piece of equipment in our industry. So what it does is it forms this inverted bag basically over the product, and it's tight. So it keeps it right together. So it eliminates the stretch wrap film that most people use. But the main thing is it keeps the product dry and secure and clean, so we can store it outside without it getting contaminated by moisture or foreign objects. So it's a good innovation in our industry.
That's it. On its way to some gardeners and some green thumbs. Where'd you take me to now? Because it has a strange odor in here.
Okay, this is what we call the mill, and this is where they blend the organic fertilizers. So there's bulk trucks come in here, they're loaded to bins over here behind us, and then they put them in these hoppers. It's computer controlled, and the hoppers drop the correct amount of material to blend together the all-purpose, the citrus, the palm, whatever else what they're making at the time. So this is where that's done.
So you guys are wonderful chefs. This is, I think, a recipe. So for every recipe they're going to make for different types of fertilizers, you have your flour, your sugar, you got all your salt. In this case, it's alfalfa meal, feather meal, bat guano, chicken manure, whatever they need for the recipes. They can mix it all up with this machine back here. So it's really cool. I wish you guys could see all of this, but guess what? I can't show you everything because it's the secret sauce. We can't share the secret sauce recipe.
Yes, we think we're the only formulators around. So this is actually formulating the raw materials, the fertilizers you buy from EB Stone.
This is fantastic. I'm like a kid in a candy store here. This is really cool. So behind me are one of the magical secret ingredients to their fertilizers and soil recipes. Jim, what is this and why is it good for our plants?
Well, this is a bin of feather meal. It's one of the dozen or so organic fertilizers that we blend together. It's a high nitrogen source. What we want is a complex of all these different organic fertilizers that gives you a broader spectrum of nutrients for your plants. So this is just one of them. It's a great source.
Hey, nitrogen is the growth nutrient, so here you go, a little feather meal for some growth. So what is this and what are we looking at, Jim?
Okay, this is one of our many piles of raw materials. This is Fir Bark fines, we call them, which are 0 to 1/8 of an inch. We have different sizes we blend together for the proper physical structure of the mix. So it's a slow time of year, so we don't have a lot here. We have our suppliers house it for us or keep it for us, and they bring it in trucks throughout the season. So this is just one of the substrates or aggregates that we use.
It's fantastic. It smells really good, and dotted all over around me are these massive piles of different mixes that they've been working on. So it's pretty cool. Once they get a mix going, they cover it up, and it gets ready to be bagged and shipped off somewhere else. But it's pretty cool. It smells really good.
Yes, aged.
Like a fine wine. I want to thank you so much, Jim, for having us here today. It was a blast to be here. The folks got to be brought along from start to finish. You can see right here the end product, the recipe 420. Woo! Yeah, they're excited. And so we had a blast out here today. And what's the EB Stone saying? How does that go?
For the life of your garden. EB Stone's a great company. We appreciate you guys coming out. Couldn't show you everything, but hopefully you got an overall tour and enjoyed it. It's a pretty amazing place, good culture here at EB Stone. So thanks.